one, I'm sending you this bag. It has 3 flashes, a trigger, and then it's got the mounts over here. And then this is an umbrella, and in there are the stands. And I'm going to walk you through on how to set this thing up. Okay, so these are the flash heads. This right here, obviously this is where you turn it on. Then on the mode, we want to switch from, on these say ETTL, we want to click on here on the mode, and it'll take us to manual. And then this button right here, we want to press it once, it becomes a master. We press it again, and it becomes a slave. Slave A. Each of these, como this one's A, that one will be a different letter, and the other one that I haven't set up right now will have a different letter too. That's important. On this one, I'll do the same thing. It's already on. I'll go to manual, then press this button up here, and it says master, and now slave, and it's slave C. And that's, you see how the red light is on? That means it's not linked yet. And it's not linked to what? It's not linked to the trigger. The trigger is over here. See, this one at the minute is red link on there. This is the trigger right here. So I'm going to turn this on. And when I turn it on, as soon as I turn it on, you see how it turned green? And this is green too now, because now they're linked. It was able to pick it up pretty quickly. You can see that this is A on my trigger, A and B. So you have on A, it's at half, and B is triggering at a full blast, which is pretty strong. We don't want to have that. B usually I use for backlighting, and we don't want to have that thing that strong unless it's going to be far away. So to change that, we press on GR, which is this one, and now we're on A, and we can scroll down or to B or stay on A. I'm going to stay on A, press enter, and now I can crank it up to give me more power or less power. My recommendation is use half power. On B, I'm going to click that and bring it down to about a quarter power. So I mean, if you're using half power on A, which is your key light, then on B I would go on a quarter stop or a quarter less. So if I'm going half over there, then a quarter here, just so it doesn't give you the same amount of light. And now anytime this thing clicks, then the lights will trigger, and there it is. Okay, so what I've done here is that's my key light, by the way. I put that umbrella on there and face the flash towards the umbrella so that it shoots a light that way, and then it bounces back really big instead of a sharp light coming straight at us. I'm still at half power there, but because I have an umbrella now, I need to kind of that'll probably equal to about the quarter less that I have over at the on my backlight. So over here I may need to go to like an eighth instead of a quarter, just so that it's less power than the key. And you'll see why when you start shooting. It's kind of too much light that comes from the back. So we don't want to put a lot of light, just some light. Ahorita I'll go over the settings on the camera. Okay, so on the camera itself, make sure obviously you're on manual, and I'm using ISO 400. That's what I think is going to work for you. My shutter speed can be as fast as 200 because this thing will be able to sync with that, so will the flashes. And now the only factor that I have is that F11. I'll be fluctuating back from F11 to probably F8, F9. Don't go less than F8 because then you're really going to blur things out, and you could easily blur part of their face if you're off focus a little bit. So I wouldn't take it down past F8. Ahorita I'll do some test shots so you can see how I'm lit. Okay? Okay, so on this one now we have the lights, and I got Jada who is posing. Say hi. My backlight, you'll see that is up there. It's pointing at her, the back of her hair. You just got to be careful, because if that light comes into the lens, which it probably will, it's going to cause a flare. So I mean, you could use somebody or something to do this bit from the lens, and obviously not in the shot, right? But then that light will stop from coming into the lens. You won't get that flare. So just putting an obstruction there is going to help. So that's about the distance, más o menos, for the backlight. Then this is the key. And you can see that it's off to the side a little bit. It's not straight on, just to give us a little bit of that shadow on the other end of her face. And I'm going to do a test shot here real quick just to check. Alright, hold on, here's what we got. I got that backlight at a 1/16 of power. This one is at half power. And when I take the picture, smile, here's what I get. That backlight is giving me a little bit of highlight on her hair. And that little highlight is going to help out with the cutting out process. So, I mean, you just adjust that backlight, however you need it, whether it's up higher to give you a better angle. So this is where the test shots kick in. Just make sure you get somebody to, model before you actually start shooting, just so you can get the settings right on. But you're going to be looking at A and B. One of the other flashes is letter C. So use the first top ones. Those will be already set to A and B. That way you don't have a C. Now if you have to add the C, which is not a problem, you'll have to, see, here's my other flash. I'll turn it on and it automatically, because I had it already set, it's set to slave and letter C. That's there, but over here it doesn't show up until you press ratio. You press ratio and now it adds that third one, and now you have letter C. I don't think you need more than 2 lights. Your key and your back should be enough, but in case you need that letter C, then knock yourself out, and now you have the strength here to crank it down or crank it up. Right now it's set to cranked up all the way. Okay, call me if you need anything, but that should get you to what you need. Okay, minus the poses, of course. That's going to be totally on your end.